Guess who's back? It's me. Alright. Hello, did you miss me? Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks. I'll take it. Right now, almost to the year now. We're getting close to it. Since I binned off the more commentary stuff to do the film and kind of music analysis videos, which they ain't going away. This ain't the future, but I thought it's Christmas, I'll give you a bit of a gift. And I'll come back once more and do a commentary video. Now, thinking of an idea was a bit difficult because I'm not very good at ideas, if you know me, if you've been here a while. So I thought, what can I do? I'll just copy something that went well last year. It's my favourite formula, recycling. And I thought to myself, a video that I did at the start this year, which was quite successful, was the top 10 worst celebrities of the year, of last year. And I thought I'd do it again because, my god, celebrities this year were just as bad, if not worse. Some of these celebrities, honestly, they just baffle me. And there's a trend with a lot of them, which we'll kind of discover as we get along. So, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a more serious video, I feel like, because there's, of course, still going to be jokes in there, but, like, a lot of these celebrities have really messed up. Before we get into that, I just want to say who will not be on this list. Vladimir Putin is not on the list because it's too obvious, man. Of course he's the worst person of the year, but there's no fun in that. It's too obvious, which is why I've not included it. I've also not included people like Donald Trump or Rishi Sunak because I don't want a political debate in the comments. That's the last thing I need. It's Christmas. Come on. And also, I just can't be asked to talk about them, especially Trump. Like, how's he still around? Like, that's my only point I have with him. Like, give it a rest. Your ship has sailed. Get out. I sound like a Brexit voter now. Anyway, right, let's get on to the list, shall we? So the number 10 worst celebrity of 2023 or something is Elon Musk. Me, Elon Musk is what happens when you give a bumbling man-child and make him a billionaire. He's just a national embarrassment. There's no other way of figuring it. He's revamped Twitter, making you have to pay for your blue tick. I tell you, if you pay for a blue tick, it's about embarrassing as like the kids in 2019 and 18 who like bought V-Bucks. Like, what you're doing? I feel like the change from Twitter to X didn't make it less toxic. Twitter's been as bad as ever. So I don't really think he fixed Twitter at all. He just kind of made it less cool and like more annoying. Like the new logo's and his space stuff launching, like, it was so underwhelming. Like, remember like when the moon landed and like everyone was like blown away by it? Like, he sent a Tesla to space and no one really cared. I think that says everything you need to know about Elon Musk. I think he's just a buffoon. I just feel that no one like actually like gets behind what he says. I just think he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He's the least sick person ever. He's about as trendy as Will Smith in the 90s. Like, that just says everything, doesn't it? Right, coming in at number 9, I have put the YouTube Prime duo. It's ironic that their drink's called Prime because this year was far from their prime. It's KSI and Logan Paul. Now, the duo have had their controversies in the past, and I have respect for both of them in ways, obviously, but I think this year was a year to forget. We'll start with Logan Paul. He had his old crypto zoo scandal. He did, if you don't know, he did this NFT thing with these zoo animals and like these eggs, and they would hatch into like 12 different animals, and it was like meant to be this big money making thing, but it flopped, and Logan did not care about the millions he scammed out of money, like the many thousands of pounds that were lost in this business, and he seemed to just not respond to it, and that was really ignorant and just an issue. I mean, I do have some sympathy for Logan Paul based on the whole, like, Dylan Dennis fight and the way Dylan Dennis spoke to his wife, but I think you need to grow up at some point. He's nearly 30 now, Logan Paul. I think he is 30, probably, and the fact he's still, like, doing the same antics, like, he's getting a bit better, but it's getting embarrassed now. And KSI, he had more scandals and fingers and, like, my bloody hand. He said a slur in a video in March to mass outrage, which was pretty deserved, to be honest, but that was alright, like, it was a slip up. But then he just kept making errors and L's as the year went on. He had the whole Wade Plem scandal when Wade has said that like, Jake brings in more money than him, and KSI overreacted to the point that Mams Taylor fired Wade to Misfits, and it was this whole rabbit hole that just never needed to happen and was a complete misunderstanding. And then, of course, there was a fight with Tommy Fury, which I feel he won, actually. But the way he reacted after the loss, as you could tell, he showed so much respect to Tommy Fury.
I hate losing.
We've all been there, my friend. It's all part
Ariel
of it.
Helwani, you were ringside as well. You were commentating on the fight. You said ultimately, even though Tommy Fury won it, it was a loss because he said he was going to knock out. Control it, KSI, come on.
It was admirable. No, he didn't. He told his fans to go and harass Tommy Fury. I'm just so disappointed. Coming in 8th, I've gone for Joey Barton. I don't even want to talk about the man, really. I feel like giving him a spot on this list is exactly what he wants, because I don't believe a word that he says, really. Now, if you don't know who Joey Barton is, which is probably 98% of the people watching this, he is an ex-England footballer who was bang average, to be honest. He was like the old version of like a Harvey Barnes. Just like bang average, whatever footballer. He represented England like 12 times or whatever. Like, he was nobody, pretty much. He was also a pretty pudding manager who was sacked by Bristol Rovers this year. He's gone from football playing to football managing to Twitter. Was fall from grace and Britney Spears. And on Twitter, he trays extremely sexist views, saying outdated takes about women in football that you would hear in a year like 1986, not 2023. And I think he is attention seeking. I think he's jealous. Mary Earps won the Sports Personality of the Year a couple of days ago, and he said that he would score 100 out of 100 penalties against her. I'd pay to see it, like, make it happen. Like, the law of averages, even if I was in goal, he'd miss one against me, because you're probably going to miss the target, at least, on 1 out of 100 penalties. It happens. She wouldn't even have to do anything. She could be reading a book, and you'd probably miss all of them, Joey. But I just think you need to get up with the times. I just feel you need to, like, it's embarrassing. I think he's completely wrong. I think at the end of the day, like, why does he have to be able to talk about football when he was a pudding player? People like Jill Scott and some of the best female commentators actually, like, won things. What did Joey Barton win? Besides, like, Sports Day, like, Egg and Spoon Race Prize? Probably nothing. So, I just think he's a bit embarrassment. 7th, and I've gone for Romelu Lukaku. Again, I think he was on last year's list. I can't be asked with this guy. I mean, he is the guy, the highest combined transfer fees in the world. He's a pretty decent striker, but his big issues are just his attitude. He burns bridges with every club he goes to. Now, I'm not even talking about his performances on the pitch this year. Performance in the Champions League final speaks for itself. But I'm more on about my bigger issue with Romelu Lukaku is, like, the way he conducts himself off the pitch, the way he treated Chelsea and Inter Milan, completely, like, burning bridges with his only clubs that he had, and now he's playing at Rome and he's probably going to burn the bridge there. Romelu Lukaku, attitude is an issue, and needs to just get on with stuff. Okay, and in 6th place is SS Sniper Wolf, another YouTuber. Not a good year for YouTubers, was it? Now for me, Sniper Wolf, now, if you know who she is one of those kids' reaction channels, which is aimed at like a 9-year-old audience. No one above the age of 9 watches SS bloody Sniper Wolf. She's got an annoying voice, but I didn't really think much of her before, because why would I? She's not really for me, but, like, I don't think she's trying to be. But this year she came out as a massive stalker, all these stuff. She stalked another YouTuber, Jack's Films, and was just really creepy, and I just think, for a woman who has such a child brand, it's just a massive letdown for everything you stand for, and I just think I don't really need to address why she's on the list. I think it kind of speaks for itself. Okay, breaking into the top 5, we have got Bob Iger. Now, Bob Iger, if you don't know, is the CEO of Disney. Now, 2023 was another year to forget for Disney. A bit of a dark age at the moment. Star Wars and MCU was dodgy as ever, with a mixed bag of outputs and projects, and, well, just the most toxic fandom, the most toxic creators. But where Disney have really failed is at the box office. Bob Iger is a man who does not care about creative integrity. He does not care about originality. He does not care about promoting artists. The way he went about the strike this year, the way he just would not give the actors or writers or anything what they deserved, and then eventually just kind of did, like, it was just embarrassing. He just got absolutely played. Like, they used him like a pig. They absolutely did. Like, he was embarrassed, humiliated, and I just think Bob Iger just needs to turn things around. He was known for buying all these big companies that stole the marble, making loads of money, but you're not making money, mate. So you came back from Bob Chapek to try and steer the ship and to make hits again. You haven't made hits. You're not, like, learning. So I think that's my issue with Bob Iger. Okay, the top 4 are ones that I've got a fair bit to say about and have huge issue with each and every one of them. So coming in at 4th place for me is Jordan Henderson. Now, if you don't know who Jordan Henderson is, he's another current footballer. Now, Jordan Henderson was a model professional. He was somebody who won everything as a Liverpool captain. And he was someone who was a massive part of that Southgate's England team who, yeah, they didn't win the World Cup, they didn't win the Euros, and they didn't win the previous World Cup, but they got very far, and he was a massive part of that team and the squad. Henderson was a very outspoken player, known for his kind of praise and support towards the LGBT community, or towards, human rights, and he was very much like, he said all the right things, and a lot of people looked up to him. He was a model professional, and he was seen up there with Gerrard as probably the number 2 best Liverpool captain ever. And Henderson must have realised, how can I mess this up in one move? And he moved to the Saudi Pro League. Now, Henderson wasn't the only footballer to go to the Saudi Pro League. Many major names went. Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, the list goes on. But the big issue with Henderson that people found was because he was so outspoken about these stuff, it felt he betrayed everything that he stood for to go play in a league in a country where homosexuality is illegal, where human rights is off the table, and pretty much everything he stands for is the complete opposite over there. And people found that disregarding it, they found it hollow. And the worst part wasn't even that he went to Saudi Arabia, it was the way he spoke in interviews after, where he claimed it wasn't for the £600,000 a week that he was getting paid that he was in Saudi Arabia, it was that he wants to be a footballer. He also claimed that there are all these stories about Saudi Arabia and how bad it is, but when you're actually there, it's not that bad. Like, maybe for you, because you're living a privileged £600,000 a week life story, but maybe for the average folk who are struggling and are being worn out and used, just because it's not on your front doorstep, Henderson, doesn't mean it's not there. It's naive, it's oblivious, it's embarrassing from him. And the way he spoke up the LGBT community was just like, he doesn't really care. They kind of blacked out his rainbow armband in the announcement video, he didn't speak on it. And he says he'll only speak on LGBT community stuff if it's legalised in the country of Saudi Arabia, which is never going to happen. So my big issue with this is that I feel you were portrayed as one thing for so many years, and then it's just been revealed that it was all PR, none of it was real, you're about as fake as a Kardashian, and it's just embarrassing from Henderson, in my opinion. But there's still 3 people worse than him. Now, my 3rd place is Philip Schofield. You knew he was going to be on here, didn't you? So, Philip Schofield was a mainstay of British television for many years, a major face, and this year... Now, Philip Schofield's career absolutely unravelled this year. Now, in 2020, we all remember the moment where Philip Schofield bravely inspired the nation by coming out as gay on his show This Morning, in a moment that was celebrated by a lot of people, something that a lot of people really found powerful. It turned out he only did this because he was about to get exposed for the papers. Now, it came out this year that Philip Schofield had an affair with a child that he knew since he was 10 years old, who he got to know, invited onto the set, and they say the kid was 17 or 18 when they got together, but there was some grooming going on there, let's be real. He groomed this young kid, manipulated them, took advantage of them, and then when he was about to get exposed, used it as an opportunity to come out on live TV and to be this whole great, powerful inspiration. And it was just a disgrace. Now, when it all came out this year, the way Philip Schofield, and Holly Willoughby as well, she might as well be on this list as well. Apparently she didn't know. I don't buy it. He kind of basically was just exposed. When he was questioned on it, he kind of tried to defend himself, went all about the bullying and how much pain he'd felt from the situation. It was just the most hollow, oblivious. He didn't seem to care really what happened to this kid too much. He cared more. the fact of been hurt by the media, or someone hurt his feelings. Like, it was just a reality check for Philip Schofield, and he deserves 2 more places to go. And my number 2 for this year is Colleen Ballinger. Now again, 90% of the population won't know who this is, but if you're the 10%, this is a gold mine. So Colleen Ballinger was a very notorious, famous YouTuber from the platform for many years. She's been around a long time. She's famous for her Miranda Sings character. Now, her audience is maybe not a tiny little kids, but more a 7 to 14, 15 kind of age range. She's got that kind of young tween, early teenager kind of audience, right? So that is her audience very clearly. Now, Colleen, we kind of knew for years that she did weird things, but no one really questioned it until this year. She had group chats with minors where she would ask kind of inappropriate questions, and as an adult, she tried to be friends with a lot of these people, and it was just, she had very inappropriate relationships. And this year some messages came out of her asking questions like, are you a virgin, or stuff like that, and it was just embarrassing from Colleen. And then she kind of was also revealed to, like, at shows she had a gimmick where, like, she'd get, like, kids to pull cheeseburgers out of her pants, and it's just like, if the line was here, she's over here, you know what I mean? Like, and all this came out. Usually when allegations like this come out, there's usually one of 2 things people did. So I want you to guess, if you don't know the answer, what do you think Colleen Ballinger did when she was exposed of grooming allegations? A, did she do a video taking accountability for the action, saying that she changed and tried to put it under the sand and say she'll be better in the future? Or B, did she try and ignore the allegations and hope they'd go away? I'll give you a second to try and think. The answer's neither. If you said she brought out a ukulele and played a song defending herself called Toxic Gossip Train, where apparently the only thing she's ever groomed are 2 Persian cats, then you'd be right.
Right? You guys having fun? All aboard the Toxic Gossip Train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The Toxic Gossip Train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station. Toxic Gossip Train. Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. 'Cause rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash. But hey, at least you're having fun.
I don't know what went through her head to sit there and sing for 10 minutes on a very badly played ukulele instrumental that a 3-year-old could probably pick up, and with lyrics that just were bad, where she tried to paint the people making the allegations as in the wrong. She took no accountability, and she just kind of absolutely exposed herself as not have learned anything really. The reaction was naive, it was just poor. Yes, she deleted the video, and apparently she did another apology that was bad, but I don't care. She is an absolute clown and one of the worst people of 2023. And the number 1 worst celebrity of this year is Lizzo. Now, if you don't know who Lizzo is, she is a singer who's very famous for her body positivity message. She's all about, it doesn't matter how big you are or what you look like, you can still dance and be a pop star. A great message that a lot of people got behind. So what if I told you that this year Lizzo fat-shamed her own backup dancers to the point that one of them was so mistreated that they soiled themselves? That happened. Now Lizzo was under fire this year for the fact that she went against her body positivity message. You'd be like Martin Luther King supporting a blackface act at Vegas. It was the biggest U-turn in history. She built her whole brand about body positivity, it don't matter what you look like, and then fat-shamed her own backup dancers. Huh? Like, this don't compute. I'm so confused. Like, she's about as honest, has all the integrity of my mate Sam, a guy who claimed he's killed Hitler and eats dinosaurs for breakfast, and yeah, the guy's like 15 and that. Anyway, I just think Lizzo went against everything she ever stood for and absolutely betrayed any integrity or any credibility she had in the bank because she's fake. It's not real. Lizzo is a lie. I will not recover from this. There's no way she'll make a comeback. But then again, I said the same thing about Kanye, and people are hyped about that new album is dropping soon. So, anyway, yeah. So that was the top 10 worst people of this year. Now, going forward, I am going to be doing a top 10 best and worst school YouTube videos of the year. And commentary-wise, that's going to probably be it. But if another big story comes out in the year, something on the level of Lizzo Colleen, I might jump on it. Anyway, I will see you lot soon.